Good afternoon and welcome to your 4 o'clock bulletin with me, Lily King.
And me, Isabelle Lee.
Our top story tonight, as the rush hour gets underway, it could be a tough journey for many commuters because of the major fire at Nottingham train station this morning. No trains have been running today and surrounding roads are beginning to reopen. Rory Bibb has this report.
Nottingham train station was evacuated this morning after a fire broke out in the early hours. The fire continued into the afternoon, disrupting rail transport and road links to the surrounding area. It is unclear what or even who caused the fire, but firefighters continue to tackle the blaze.
There is fire investigators and police crime scene investigators on scene at present moment in time. Firefighting operations are continuing. There is still a significant fire in there, and the crews are working in quite arduous conditions with lots of heat and smoke. What we've got at the moment, there are fires in voids that's in the bridges across the railway lines. So crews are now working hard to expose those voids so they can continue firefighting.
Road and rail disruptions have affected thousands of commuters who have been forced to alter their travel plans. Some have been delayed by up to 6 hours as a result of today's events.
Having obviously our staff from the railway station, they directed us straight to where we've got come here, and then the staff on the National Express are then telling all the people then where to go for the coaches for the trains that are cancelled.
We got the taxi to come here and found all the roads closed off, police cars all over the place, and then dropped us off at Bottomett Road. And one of the train officials says, "Oh, the train's all shut down. There's been a fire in the main concourse." I haven't a clue when they're going to open up again.
So there was basically confusion. Nobody really knew what was going to happen to our trains.
We're really busy with people buying tickets on like the door for coaches, just trying to get to where they need to be, especially the London coaches as well. We're really busy there.
As firefighters continue to work, there is still no official word on when normal service will be resumed. Rory Bibb, CBJ News.
Our local correspondent Joe Dennison joins us now. So what is the current situation at the train station, Joe?
Yes, Lily. Well, there have been all sorts of goings on throughout the day with firefighters working tirelessly to try and control the blaze around the station, paying particular attention to the concourse and wooden bridge which stretch over from platform 1 to 4. They have also paid particular attention to the surrounding roads, closing off the likes of Station Road, which still remains to be closed, and Queen's Road and Carrington Street. They have been opened in the last couple of hours. East Midlands trains, they are yet to release when they'll be back up and running, but we imagine that'll be quite a way in the future.
Okay, and how are the effects expected to go on over the weekend?
Well, East Midlands trains and the East Midlands Fire Service and the Nottinghamshire Fire Service, I should say actually, they have been telling people on their Twitter account not to try and travel into the city by rail over this weekend. There are obviously local sport fixtures with Forest playing Aston Villa at the City Ground tomorrow. They're telling Villa fans who are travelling from Birmingham not to come in by rail. Same for Notts County fans travelling out of the city to Lincoln. They're saying to find other means of transport. And then other people have found themselves stranded in Nottingham today, and they have been asked, with many services being cancelled, and they are having to go and travel to East Midlands Parkway to get to their destination.
Okay, thank you for that update there, Joe.
A man is in hospital after being tasered by police during an alleged knife-point robbery on Talbot Street. Police officers arrested 2 men in the early hours of this morning, and a taser was used on one of the men on Waverley Street. A police officer was also injured during the incident.
Nottingham Trent University's city campus was left without power for 2 hours this morning as lectures finished early and students' work was lost. The university has not yet confirmed what caused the incident to occur. However, the campus's technical staff were able to restore power to Chaucer, Newton and Arkwright by 11 a.m.
Nottingham's bouncers have been gaining a bad reputation after violent incidents have gone viral on social media. Our reporter Connor Halliday took a deeper look in the world of bouncing and whether power is being abused.
The security of popular venues in Nottingham is strict due to the potential threats from members of the public, especially under the influence of alcohol. A bouncer has the power to use reasonable force whilst carrying out their duties when necessary. Lately, the number of complaints regarding bouncers has risen quickly and regularly. Trainee police officer George Hitchen has had a violent altercation with bouncers in Nottingham and believes it was unnecessary.
They were sort of standing either side of the door, so I stepped in the middle. So I was like in between the two of them, and I think they might have thought I was trying to walk in or what, but next thing I know, they've like slammed me onto the ground. And then one has dropped his knee onto my head, and the other one has like grabbed me, and they put me in whatever hold and taken me around the back. And then one of them twisted my arm, so I sort of struggled. And as I struggled with them, someone stopped struggling and hit me. And I ended up with bruised ribs and a black eye as a result.
Common law gives bouncers the power to use any force deemed reasonable and necessary to avert any imminent danger they or a colleague may be in. Now, a threatening person doesn't need to strike the first blow for force to be used. Viewers have described these videos as appalling and disgusting, but as shocking as they look, the security do have the authority to use brutal force to stop a threat. Former door supervisor Dan Tempest, who has worked in Nottingham, gave us CCTV footage where he and a colleague used their training and experience to deal with a threatening situation.
Started an altercation with another member of the public, and it was removed. As you can see, he's very, very aggressive. This is the reason why he's been left at arm's length. He's making the usual threats of harm to us, his families, etc. So what we've done here now is a classic doorman technique. It's called switching. It's where my colleague's taken over from me to try and de-escalate the situation still. As you can see, judging by his hand position, exactly what's going on here. Again, he's now been warned constantly to stop being aggressive, and he refuses. Walking us down, and there you go. Unfortunately, sometimes there is absolutely no choice but to deal with it in this way. That's the life of a doorman, I'm afraid.
Next Monday will be Blue Monday, apparently the most depressing day of the year. Our reporter Carmen Fernandez has more on it.
As Christmas gone, we're left with an empty wallet, long cold days, and the return to work. All these factors come together to make everyone believe that every third Monday in January is the most depressing day of the year. Christmas decorations are being removed and people are back to their routine. Although Old Market Square may look gloomy, people of Nottingham don't appear to feel the same.
This year I feel quite positive actually, but I'm going to bed much earlier and getting up later.
You know, it gets dark and stuff and that can be a bit depressing, but I love what I do and it'll be spring soon.
People like myself who are retired, it's very easy to just sit at home, gloomy weather outside, and it's really important to be with other people, I think. That's the main thing.
If you're going to be depressed, you're going to be depressed whether it's a Monday or whatever day it is.
Cliff Arnall, a Cardiff University lecturer, was the first person to term this day as Blue Monday. According to his mathematical formula, the factors that make this equation are the weather, debt level, the amount of time since Christmas, time since failing our New Year's resolution, low motivational levels, and the feeling of a need to take care of the situation. Anyway, this formula hasn't been proved, and now we know it was all made for a public relations campaign.
Mental health charities don't like the idea of Blue Monday, as they say there's no need to have a special day for feeling depressed. The Samaritans are turning Blue Monday into Brew Monday, an idea based on having a coffee or tea with friends. So you can choose either to believe that Blue Monday will be a depressing day, or instead you can think it could be a really nice day.
A Portuguese dance, Kizomba, has become popular in Nottingham over the last few years. Unlike most dances, the slow pace of Kizomba allows beginners to learn the basic steps easily. We sent our reporter Chantal Brown over to the dance class to find out more.
Every Thursday night at Missoula Bar and Grill, Francesca Owen teaches Kizomba. This dance revolves around 5 principles: connections, basic, language, adaptation and enjoyment. Meaning party in Kabundu, the Semba-adapted dance is centred on the hips and intricate footwork. The close partnership between dancers allows them to move in unison, creating elaborate moves.
Kizomba is a dance, a social dance. It's quite a new one on the scene. It's traditionally from the Portuguese African-speaking nations, so Angola, Cape Verde. I find that most of the dancers that we get to Kizomba classes have actually come from another dance. So they've learned swing, or they've learned blues, or they've learned salsa or bachata. And we've got a lot of brand new beginners that never danced with it, so we put them into the correct position and then we tell them to hug one another. And this is something that everybody's aware of and everyone knows how to do and everyone knows how a hug should feel. So then when actually you just do the hug and then you just take the hand out, they're in the correct position for Kizomba, so it kind of puts them at ease.
The dance itself is only 20 to 30 years old and has taken inspiration from dances like salsa and bachata. The music is characterised by a slow romantic rhythm which is danced with a partner, performing steps reminiscent of the tango. Francesca has been teaching Kizomba in the UK for 5 years and has seen a rise in its popularity.
It's very much something that's completely changing, completely evolving. We've been teaching in the UK now for 5 years, in and around the East Midlands, and we started off with class sizes of 3 people. Today we have 20 to 25, and it is the fastest spreading social dance at the moment across Europe.
Despite Kizomba looking difficult to someone who has never taken a dance lesson before, Francesca feels that the hardest part about learning to dance is turning up to the class on the first day.
My advice to anyone that's not done any dancing would be the hardest thing that you will ever do in a dance class is turning up on day 1. That is the biggest fear that people have. I'm going to turn up, I won't be able to do it. It's not like the more energetic dances, it's suitable for absolutely everybody. It's very slow, the pace is quite smooth, there's not a lot of turns, so people with bad knees and bad shoulders don't have to worry about any sort of injuries. You don't have to wear any special clothing or any special shoes, like I say, because it's walking. It's a dance of walking.
And now here's James McCarthy with the sport.
Newly appointed Nottingham Forest manager Aitor Karanka will oversee his first game in charge of the club tomorrow as they welcome promotion hopefuls Aston Villa to the City Ground. Forest have won just once in their last 8 championship games and currently sit 14th in the table. However, Scott confidence will be sky high following their FA Cup win over Arsenal last weekend. Meanwhile, in League 2, high-flying Notts County will be looking to close the gap on leaders Luton Town this week. They travel to a Lincoln City side who are unbeaten in their last 4 games. In ice hockey, Nottingham Panthers face a tricky trip to Belfast Giants in a league doubleheader on Friday and Saturday night. The Panthers will be eager to bounce back from their 5-2 defeat to Cardiff Devils last weekend. And finally in rugby, Nottingham welcome Irish Giants Munster to Lady Bay in a cup clash that is sure to draw an impressive crowd. The Green and Whites defeated Ospreys in their last round of the competition. That's all for your sport. I'm James McCarthy.
And here with your latest weather forecast is Juan Lan.
Tonight will be mainly cloudy, although there is a chance of sunshine and breeze. Light rain or drizzling is possible, although mainly over high ground. Saturday is mainly dry and cloudy, with limited bright or sunny interval and perhaps some patch drizzling. Overall, it will be cold with strong winds. Finishing off the weekend, Sunday will be cloudy and dry, with any morning fog clearing by midday. Rainfall will be heavy and paired with strong winds, making the way for a wintry Monday.
That's all on what has been a busy news day.
We'll be back with more news next week. Have a safe weekend.